everyone. I am Iris Magarce from the Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. So, I am going to summarize the Module 1 for you, which is Principles and Theories of Language Acquisition and Learning. So, what comes into your mind when you hear language? So, what is language? Language is a system of communication, a medium for thought, and a social interaction. Method of human communication, either in spoken or written, consisting of the use of words in a structured and conventional way. A system of communication used by a particular country or community. The expression of ideas by means of speech sounds combined into words. A system of arbitrary vocal symbols by means of which a social group cooperates. A systematic means of communicating ideas or feelings by the use of conventionalized signs, sounds, gestures, or marks having understood meanings. So here are the natures and characteristics of language. Natures of language are: words are only symbols. Meanings are in people, not in words. Third, words have many types of meanings. And the last is language is dynamic. Characteristics and feature design of language are: language is arbitrary. Language is symbolic. Language is vocal, verbal, and sound. Language is productive. Language is social instrument. Language is systematic. Language is conventional. Language is a mean of communication. And lastly, language is non-instinctive. Design features of language by C.F. Hackett. Vocal auditory channel. Signal modality involves vocalization and sound perception. Broadcast transmission. Everyone in earshot can hear what is said. Rapid fading. Signals fade quickly and don't clog the airwaves. Interchangeability. Any speaker can also be a listener and vice versa. Total feedback. Speaker can hear everything that he says. Specialization. Linguistic signal accomplish their result not via raw energy as in pushing or biting, but their fit to the receiver's perceptual and cognitive systems. Asemanticity. Some linguistic units have specific meaning as words or morphemes. Arbitrariness. Meanings are generally arbitrarily related to signals rather than iconic. Discreteness. Each utterance differs from all others discretely by at least a distinctive feature. Displacement. Meanings about past, future, or distant reference can be encoded and understood. Productivity, openness, new utterances can be readily coined and understood. Duality of patterning. Meaningless units, phonemes are combined into meaningful one morphemes, which can be combined into larger meaningful units, sentences. Traditional transmission. Language are learned, not genetically encoded. Prevarication. It is possible to lie. Reflexibility. It is possible to use language to talk about language. Learnability. It is possible for a speaker of one language to learn additional languages. Language variations. Language variety refers to the various forms of language triggered by social factors. Language may change from region to region, from social class to another, from individual to individual, and from situation to situation. The actual changes result in the variety of language. No two speakers of a language can speak exactly the same way. No individual speaker speaks the way all the time. A language variety is spoken by a speech community. What is characterized by systematic features that distinguish it from the varieties of the same language, example, phonological, lexical, and grammatical. Variety means a set of linguistic items with similar distribution. Idiolect means a speech variety of an individual speaker. So, there are factors that contribute to variation. First, social situation. Second, occupation. Third, age. Next is geography. Next, education, gender, social status or class, and lastly, ethnicity. Kind of dialects. So there are two kinds of dialects. These are regional dialects and social dialects. There is also two kinds of direct variety. First is the prestige variety, means dialect associate with mainstream social prestige. Example is educate or sophisticate. Second is stigmatized variety. Dialect associate with negative feature from a mainstream social perspective. Example is uneducated or lower class. So there are different kinds of language variations. Do you have any idea on what are they? So first is the pidgin. Pidgin is a new language which develops in situation where spoken of different language need to communicate but not share a common language. It serves as first language and it is known as mother tongue of the community. Second is Creole. Creole is a distinct language which has taken most of its vocabulary from another language, lexifier, and has its own unique grammatical rules. Third, regional dialect. It is not a distinct language but a variety of language spoken in a particular area of a country. Fourth, minority dialect is a language of minority group used as a marker of identity. Lastly, indigenized variety. It is spoken mainly a second language with multilingual populations. There are four imitation hypotheses that holds language began through some sort of human mimicry of naturally occurring sound or movements. First is the ding-dong hypothesis. Language began when humans started naming objects, actions, and phenomena after a recognizable sound associated with it in real life. Next is the poo-poo hypothesis. Holds that the first word came from involuntary exclamation of dislike, hunger, pain, or pleasure, eventually leading to the expression of more developed ideas and emotions. Third is the bow wow hypothesis, the most famous and therefore the most ridiculed hypothesis. Holds that vocabulary developed from imitations of animal noises, such as moo, bark, hiss, meow, quack quack. Lastly is the Tata hypothesis. Charles Darwin hypothesized that speech may have developed as a sort of mouth pantomime. The organs of speech were used to imitate the gestures of the hand. Thank you guys for watching and I hope you learned something. Once again, I am Iris G. Magarce signing off.